Fellas, I made a lot of videos, a lot of them about my different takes about certain champions. You may have noticed, and I hope I have made it abundantly clear, that I am biased. And so is everyone. For example, Cho'Gath. Is he well designed in any facet from a more objective standpoint? No, not really. But he is one of my favorite champions. And in counter argument to that, say Ivern, for example. I love Ivern. He's one of my favorites. Scooch, good friend of mine for many years now, has repeatedly told me to my face he thinks Ivern is terrifying and creepy. However, Ivern is not real. You don't have to like Ivern just because I do, right? And because I do get very critical of champions sometimes, and I don't want to come off as cynical. So today, I would just like to talk about something positive. I am removing all objectivity. These could all be champions that, by the general consensus of the community, think they're terrible, but I just want to talk about characters that I just adore. So this is a good one to start with because I mentioned him already. Is Cho'Gath an objectively good character? I don't think so, but he's very special to me. This was the character that got me into League of Legends in the first place. This Violator from Spawn ripoff, no lore having, color swap chroma looking ass bug thing was the character that got me into League. If I remember correctly, I believe first skin I ever bought was for Cho'Gath back in 2012. Cho'Gath was the character that got me into League. However, Blitzcrank was the first character I ever played. Blitz always embodied this kind of aura of fun. Blitz is never meant to be competitively viable. They're just silly. They're just this big, dumb-looking robot sprinting at you at Mach 50, slowing their own self for whatever reason. They never used to do that. And then you just hook someone, you just grab them. One of those characters that I can never have a bad time. Man, Renata's just the coolest. How fun is that to just take the enchanter and just do a complete 180, being this sociopathic CEO? She will kill you at a moment's notice so she can get more money. Man, her whole existence just makes me happy. Even though we didn't get Sickle, the result was just another character that is just so freaking cool. There he is. There's Yorick. Can't believe it, Mr. Mori himself. For those who weren't there, Yorick's rework was launched on the exact same patch that Mastery 6 and 7 were released. I was on vacation and I had my laptop with me and I just had to play him. And because nobody played him and because his stats had been basically retooled, it took me 5 games to get Mastery 7 on Yorick because I already had Mastery 5. His stats were so bad, I went in one game something like 2 and 6 and 0 and got an S. That's how bad his stats were. So Yorick was the first champion I got Mastery 7 on. Infectious smile. I freaking love Alawi, dude. There's no character in the game like her. There's been so many characters that Riot has kind of left in the dust, like especially in Season 6, right? Like poor Kled, poor Talia. It overjoys me that Riot has essentially brute forced Alawi into being an icon of the game. She's everywhere now. She's not in Wild Rift yet, as far as I recall, but making her a main character in Ruin King, and her being an LOR, and her in 2XKO allows the new Lux. That would imply she gets like 3 skins a year. I think you guys have probably inferred, in terms of characters, I like playing what's unpopular. When I was in high school, I went through a bit of a crisis where I was like, everything that I like is not what everyone else likes. So I like gaslit myself. I'm like, maybe I need to learn to like the popular stuff. I didn't like it. But the outlier is that I did like Lux. It didn't work. The group of people in my high school, I'm like, wow, wait, I actually really like this popular character. And you know what I get met with? You like the girly character? Screw you, high school. I'm gonna play what I like. Big Bear. I love this guy. So the reason Volibear is special to me is because I loved old Volibear. That was one of my favorite characters because he was just stupid. It was just a lightning bear. And then they reworked him and then it all vanished. I would never take old Volley back compared to the current one. He's so fun. He looks great too. All the voice lines he has with his brother and the lore. He's just a narcissistic boomer and I kind of love him for that. This is my boy, little Coggy. It is creature. I love this guy. Radiates the most goober energy. He still doesn't look like this in game. I would love for him to get a visual update at some point. I think part of the reason I always loved Kog'Maw is because I think compared to any other character in the game, the difference between AP and AD Kog'Maw, it's not like Lucian, where like AP Lucian is like a cheesy meme strat.
Nice.
AP and AD Kog'Maw play like such completely different characters, and I love that. And of course he has Kog'maw, my favorite skin in the whole game. I think actually that's another reason why I love Kog'maw so much, because unlike Cho'Gath, where Kog'Maw also has like zero personality and no lore at all, Kog'Maw is special because the community made one for him. And I love that. Arriving late to the party is probably a good one for this one, because this character is Lilia. When she came out, I was completely indifferent, and in fact, I actively did not like her, because we had so many characters that are just designed to be very, you know, attractive, appealing, that kind of thing in a row. To say Lilia was our monster character, quotation marks, I was upset. I was like, oh, man, I was hoping for like, you know, a monster. That's not a big monster. That's a lady with a deer duct taped to her torso. One day, Riot announced that they were buffing some stuff that would allow for lane Lilia to function a little bit more. I think it was probably like healing and lower mana or something. And I thought, what the hell? Why not? And like the light switch. Oh my god. This is great. Wait, I love this. I kind of realized more stuff about her that I did like. She's technically Ivern's granddaughter. I was like, wait a second. It was Destiny. Her personality just like this super kind of shy, timid. I'm like, wait, she's just like me for real. This one's a little sad now because unfortunately, the voice actor passed away. But not you up here, Rost. I like Kane. Kane's cool, but Rost is where it's at for me. Probably could tell by my own personality, my own avatar and stuff, that I love characters that have massive amounts of gremlin energy, and I think Rost has that in spades. He's just this little creature that thinks he's so much stronger than he actually is. I love that. I love Warwick so much. I got to a point when I was playing League where Warwick eclipsed Ivern in terms of mastery, and I actually felt guilty. I felt like I was betraying Ivern. I loved Warwick so much because reworks up till this point were more like Gallia. Warwick was special because he was not deleting old Warwick, he was reinventing it. Just modernized the character, but in every way still felt like Warwick. Just, this is what he should have always been. I really do love New Skarner. It is sad to lose what we lost. Riot saying that you can't empathize with a victim, that kind of stuff, and losing the whole Crystal Scorpion thing. But this new version, this giant kaiju earthbender, twisted good intentions guardian angel, protector of Ishtal, but maybe not for the right reasons anymore, the painted decorations from the people who adored him as a god, the skill expression he can do now, just throwing a freaking boulder at people, the role diversity, he's not locked to the jungle anymore. It's mixed, where it's like, I will always miss the old Skarner, because Skarner was one of my favorites too. Like, look how high up he is. Whenever you say you like Ornn, it's like, oh, so you're a Redditor. I don't know where that came from. I think it's a little funny, but I've always loved Ornn. And just what he offered for the Freljord. The idea of finally having the blacksmith in the game. And again, very introverted guy. Yeah, I love how grumpy and pissy he is all the time. No, I will go over there. I do not need company. And yeah, he's so huggable looking too. I love his design. I love how he plays. I love how he breathes so much life into the Freljord. There's no Freljord character like him, of having this god of the forge, but then I never noticed there's a bird on his horn. How did I never notice that? He's been out for 7 years. How did I never notice he's got a bird? There's another situation with like the Volibear where I loved this guy before and after the rework. Nunu and William. I loved old Nunu because it was like Blitzcrank. It was just turn your brain off, run around the map like an absolute idiot, and sneeze a snowball at him. It was so dumb and so silly. Nunu is peak child's character because he embodies exactly the kind of stuff you would want from a kid character. He is all about that childlike wonder and imagination. It's like a character that makes you feel like a kid again, and he plays like one too. And just having Willump be that's the most huggable character in League. I have 2 Willump plushies. I want giant Willump plushie, please. I need a huggable Willump ASAP. And the last one is, I mean, it's obvious. Ivern released, I believe, only a few days before my birthday.
Happy birthday?
Ivern is special. When I saw Ivern, something clicked. And so I tried him and I was terrible. And I kind of dedicated myself to trying to become better at Ivern because I just thought he was the coolest thing. One day, I was playing League of Legends on my lunch break, and I encountered a Riven player. It's funny because this Riven player was the nicest person I'd ever interacted with in League. He invited me to his server. It was like a little private server with a bunch of friends. And suddenly, where in high school I've been alone for almost the entire time, save for like one friend, suddenly I had friends. Sadly, that whole friend group, we've split ways since then, but it also helped me to just try and do fun stuff. And then I tried Ivern mid, and I ended up really liking Ivern mid, and I thought this is even funnier to do better on a character that people don't think is good on a build that seems completely unorthodox and useless, and then still doing decently. And it was also at the time when I started really wanting to start making my own YouTube videos. If anyone here remembers Magikarp's League of Failures, I would upload stuff there all the time, and I would edit them instead of just uploading a raw clip. And eventually started recognizing me through that. And then I started to build up a small reputation as the Ivern mid guy. And then some way or another, I got contacted by Ross Boomsocks, and we did a video together. And that boosted my channel a lot. And then connections happen. I get a job working for Magikarp as an editor. Then I become a channel manager. Then I start working for Scooch, and then some of my own videos pop off. And then now fast forward, here we are today. So technically, my whole YouTube channel exists because of a silly tree guy. And it all went downhill, yep. In a weird roundabout way, he's kind of the origin of it all. He's very, very special to me. So I think we leave it at that. If you have any champions that you absolutely love, in spite of everything, regardless of what anyone says, let me know. Like, why are they your favorite? Or do they nostalgia? You love playing them, you love how they look, whatever it is. It is awesome that people can find such enjoyment in this stuff. So, hey fellas, if you're watching, end video.